Check, check, check. What's good, everybody? What's good, y'all? Ooh. Let's get into it, man. Welcome. Welcome. Let me back up so y'all get me in frame real quick. Hold on. Y'all see the jersey. Y'all see the jersey. My girl got it for me, actually. So don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted now, you heard? Don't get it twisted now, you heard? What's good, y'all? Blah. What's good, y'all? What's good, everybody? Welcome to another episode, another edition. No new edition of the No Signal Podcast with your boy, your host, Mondo, man. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. You know what it is, man. But welcome, everyone. How's everyone doing? How's everyone been? This past week, what happened this past week? This past weekend was the Canelo fight, wasn't it? If I'm not mistaken. The Canelo fight was this weekend. It was pretty good, but I hate that. Let me get some shit off my chest real quick. I hate the fact that every time I watch a fucking boxing fight, it always goes to decision. Like, I don't know if it's the fighters or some shit, or if it's like they want to drag or if it's scripted. You know how everyone talk about scripted this, scripted that? Like, if they drag it out the whole fucking 12 rounds, like, oh, okay, we're just gonna throw shots and then just make it last 12 rounds. Like, fuck that shit, bro. Like, I'm trying to see some fucking knockouts, some fucking Mike Tyson knockouts type shit. But I mean, the fucking who's it? Munguia, Su Young, Munguia, that guy who was fucking fighting Canelo and shit. He was actually getting them with combos and shit. He was like combination. You know what I mean? He was getting them with combos and shit. And Canelo was just, that experience, and shit. He just waited it out, got his right time, knocked him down. And after that knockdown, he like was on the fence and shit. He was like iffy and shit, the other fool. But that's besides that, man. Fucking, I'm just saying, boxing fights, like, I'm trying to see a fucking finish. All these fucking fights I've seen, like, I swear, like, the last time I seen a fucking boxing match and it ended, like, without decision was probably that fucking, that Mayweather fight versus that one Mexican dude. Victor or some shit. What was his name? Victor or some shit? Victor some shit. Let me look this up on the wiki. Mayweather fights, record, stats. They got stats on a bitch. Hold on. Let me look it up on the wiki. It's gonna take me a while, y'all. But like I'm saying, like every fight I watched, and like throughout my whole fucking life. No, what are these, dude? Show me the list of fucking fights he had. Professional boxing record, exhibition. Damn, this shit. Oh, Victor Ortiz. Yeah, that motherfucker. That shit was on my birthday. What the fuck? That fight was on my birthday. I remember watching that shit. And that fool Victor Ortiz, whatever, he got knocked out. But that was when the ref separated him and shit. Now thinking of it, I'm like, God damn, like that's really the last time I saw a finish in a fucking boxing match and shit. Like no matter what boxing fight I watched, it all went to fucking decision and shit. That shit's so stupid. But anyways, it's the No Signal. We don't talk about boxing on this shit. I'm not Ariel Hawani, I don't do boxing. I don't do the fight scene. This Mondo. It's Mondo, man. We talking about basketball, man. Let me get into it. Already. No, let me give y'all, like, let me ask y'all real quick a scenario and shit. I don't know if I said this before, but say whatever, you chilling at the house and shit, whatever. And then like your sneaky link or whatever call you and shit, or your girl call you and shit. And she like, oh, my parents are gone. They're out of town. Like, something. I have a friend coming over. Do you want to come over? And all this shit. Like, it's like saying like pretty much like, oh, like a threesome type shit. You know what I mean? So like, say you get ready and you're just like, oh shit, like I'm about to go over there. Like I'm about to have me like two pieces and shit, like two piece, leg and thigh and shit, 4-piece leg and thigh. Yo, straight up, just imagine that shit. Like, oh, she hit you up, like, oh, I got a friend coming over. You want to come over and blah blah and all this shit. And you get there, and then her friend that she brought over is a dude. Are you still staying for the fucking little Eiffel Tower action, little threesome? Like, are you still staying? I don't know. Honestly, if I'm in that position, I don't even know. Actually, I'm gonna have to see it through. Honestly, I'm gonna have to. I don't even know. That's a trick question and shit. Like, oh, like she say, oh, come over. Like my friend is coming over, but she don't specify what kind of friend. So it might be a girlfriend or it might be a guy friend, whatever the fuck. So you get there and you realize like, yo, it's a dude and shit. Are you still staying? I don't know if I'm staying. It depends how well I know the dude and shit. You know what I mean? It depends how well I know him. Like if I know him like from back then, whatever, like, and we was cool, we was tight and shit, I might be like, you know what? I'll let you slide. Like I'll let you slide. Just don't look at me in the eye, you know? Just don't look at me in the eye, bro. Straight up. But what if it's like, damn, I don't even know. That's tough. Like I wouldn't stick through. I don't know. Like if it's a random dude, if it's just like a dude I see and I'm just like, oh, this guy looks like a fucking douchebag, dude. This guy looks like a motherfucker, dude. Then I wouldn't even stay. I wouldn't even stay in that shit. Honestly, I'll be like, yo, this guy looks like a motherfucker, dude. Motherfucker, dude. But real quick, before we get into the NBA topics and stuff, let me get into this Drake versus Kendrick beef. Honestly, I wrote down right here like 2 bars or whatever, but honestly, Kendrick won. Kendrick won at this point. I didn't hear Drake's disses because they're not as like, what is it, amplified? They're not like fucking exaggerated. Not exaggerated, but amplified. Like, you know what I mean? Like fucking played more. You know what I mean? Like they don't have replay value. The Drake songs, Drake disses or whatever. Especially like after one of the songs or one of the disses that Drake came out with, he said, "Oh, it's a good workout. It's nice to get a little exercise. It's just a pen work, just pen flowing, just." Like, bro, you sound like a fucking like you could tell like the motherfucker rolling his eyes as he's recording that, just like, like, just just hearing that shit, just hearing him fucking like take that exhale, like you could tell he's like rolling his eyes. He's like, it's just like, dude, like you're. What did Kendrick say? Some shit just cringeworthy. Like some shit just cringeworthy. You know what I mean? Like, what does he say? Some shit just cringeworthy. I don't give a fuck about who you hang with. Nah, that's another bar. That's another bar. He said, Yachty can't give you no swag neither. I don't give a fuck about who you hang with. I hate the way that you walk, the way that you talk. I hate the way that you dress. I hate the way that you sneak this. If I catch flight, if I take flight, it's gonna be direct. That's bars. That's bars. If I take flight, like, oh, I'm about to take flight on them. I'm about to swarm, like take flight on them and shit. Like just stole off on them. About to take flight. It's gonna be direct. It's gonna be direct, like face to face. Bars. But some shit that, like I said, like Drake's disses, they're not like amplified. They're not like fucking blasting out the speakers and shit type shit. You know what I mean? Especially like when you see Drake, like I was thinking of this the other day. I'm like, yo, this beef is pretty much like a fucking Canadian actor / rapper. Cause he was an actor first before he turned rapper. Actor first before he turned rapper. So it's like actor / rapper versus a fucking, how does Kendrick call himself? Compton cowboy. You know what I mean? A Compton killer. You know what I mean? Like I ain't airing out Kendrick's business like that, but I'm just repeating one of his bars and shit. If I told you I killed a man at 16, if I told you I killed a nigga was 16, would you believe me? Or something like that. But yeah, they're just not, they don't hit. Drake don't hit like that. Especially like when I go on Twitter and I see like people like, oh, Drake won, Drake this. Oh, like look at Kendrick. Oh, bringing old shit up of Kendrick. Look at this and look at that. I'm like, yo, why am I on this side of Twitter? Like I shouldn't even be on this side. Like, and I hate the fact that it's Twitter because it's like, it like suggests me other people's tweets that I don't follow. And I'm like, why the fuck are you suggesting this shit? Like, I don't even follow this guy. Why is this shit on my feed? You know what I mean? Like, fucking X, dude. Fucking Twitter, X, whatever the fuck. But what was that shit? Like, I guess in one of the Drake songs, he mentioned ASAP Rocky and Rihanna. Or he's like, stick to modeling, you know better, or some shit like that. Like, oh, stick to modeling, or your baby mama and all this shit. Like, where the fuck did ASAP Rocky and Rihanna come from? Like, why the fuck are you bringing them in it? You know what I mean? It's like he's bringing up... I don't even know. He's like going after the people that he made fucking problem with. I like bad bitches, I'm a fucking problem. You know, like Kendrick, fucking ASAP and shit. But yeah, it's just weird. Like, but Kendrick, he dropped fucking bars and shit. Like, don't let this shit go over your head. He said, you know, I don't talk, oh no, Sally. You know I got language barriers. There's no accent you can sell me. Oh, that's bars. He said, there's no accent you can sell me. He said, like, no accent you could sell me. Like, you know the fucking accents that Jake comes out with? The London accent, the fucking Canadian, Jamaican accent, the fucking... You know what I mean? It's just like, bro, like, you can't sell me no accent. Like, we know who you are. Like, why are you putting up this fucking, this fucking Jamaican front and shit? That Jamaican front was when it was like mostly like for, if you're reading this, it's too late. You know what I mean? Where he's like, oh, we're not sleeping in the streets, shaky warrior, and all this shit. And also like in More Life, the London or whatever, that's when he collabed with like Skepta and all that shit, and his like fucking flow started changing to London shit, London vibe or whatever. But it's just mad weird the way this fucking beef is. And then Kendrick calling Drake a pedo. I mean, it's like right in front of your eyes. It's like right in front of your face. Like, you know, when what's her name was like of like before she was of age, that Millie Bobby Brown girl from Stranger Things and shit. And then it's like, oh, like, yeah, me and Drake talk a lot. And then it's just like weird ass shit. Like, why the fuck are you getting at the kids for it? Like, obviously they're like child stars. You know, they're still fucking minors. They're still fucking minors. They're not young adults. They're not fucking 18. They're not young adults. They're still minors and shit back then. And he's all hanging out with the fucking Millie Bobby Brown and shit and the rest of the Stranger Things cast or some shit. Just underage girls in general. It's just fucking weird. Like, why the fuck are you on your R. Kelly shit? You the light skin Keith Sweat. No, you the light skin R. Kelly. Thanks. Oh, that was the wrong one.
This is not a banger. This is not a banger. That's and I know bangers. I know bangers.
That's the wrong one. It's like, bro, why the fuck? I'm the light skin Keith Sweat. You the light skin R. Kelly. You the light skin R. Kelly. Especially, what did Kendrick say? Pass his body like John Stockton or some shit like that. I'm about to pass his body like John Stockton or some shit like that. Got the blammer on me. What was the other lyrics he was saying? And then he put the fucking, what he said, you think the bae gonna let you disrespect Pac, nigga? You think the bae gonna let you disrespect Pac, nigga? I think that Oakland show gonna be your last stop, nigga. Oh my gosh. He said, what is the owl? Bird niggas or bird bitches? Ugh. That shit is, I mean, what is the other one? And you Malibu's most wanted. Ain't no law, boy. You ball boy. He's a ball boy. Fetch Gatorade or some. Since 2009, I had this bitch jumping. He said, what's OVO for? The other vaginal option? Pussy niggas better straighten their posture. Got famous all up in Compton. Yo, Kendrick, bro. Kendrick got fucking bars, especially like where he's like, got famous all up in Compton and still from Compton. Yo, have y'all seen that video where it's like Kendrick, like he's dressed like an old man, and then he's all flexing the watch and shit. He's like literally like makeup as an old man and shit. He's got a watch and shit. He's like, nigga still got the motherfucking rolling on. And and then they talking to him. They're like, hey, tell him where you from. Where you from? He's like, I'm still from Compton, nigga. Yo, this shit getting out of hand. He said, what did he say? Fucked on Wayne girl while he was in jail? Wow. But anyways, man, I'm not trying to stretch out that whole beef topic any more longer. Let's move on to the basketball segment of the show. Right here, Jamal Murray fined $100,000 for throwing objects on the court. 2 at that. 1, the first one was a towel at the referee, and it went by his legs. It hit his legs. But the ref didn't notice that. The ref didn't notice that at all until Jamal Murray threw the fucking ice pack or the heating pack, whatever the fuck, onto the court. Then that's when the ref turned around like, hey, like, what the fuck? Like, who threw that shit? Because once he saw the heating pack, he looked straight to the bench. He didn't fucking, that's no object from a fan, no nothing like that. That's a heating pack from the bench and shit. But at the same time, it's like, fined $100,000? That's it? Excuse me, y'all. But I'm like tripping. I'm like, yo, fined $100,000? That's it? Like, motherfucker could have got suspended for that shit. Like, just imagine, like, oh, okay, boom, through the fucking heating pack, someone jumps up, player from either team, Denver, Minnesota, whatever the fuck, jumped up to get a rebound, come down, land on the ice pack, heating pack, boom, rolls an ankle, out for the rest of the playoffs, the rest of the finals, whatever. And like y'all really just gonna fucking slap him on the wrist, give him $100,000 fine, and then that's it? Like, fuck that shit. Suspend his ass for 1 game, especially if y'all seen game 2, y'all seen how much frustrated Denver was. You got Jokic doing frustrating fouls, Murray frustrating fouls, fucking who else? You know what I mean? It's all because the refs are letting them play. The refs are literally letting them play. If it was regular season, the score would be like 120 to 110, some shit like that. But nah, they're actually letting them play. They're actually letting them get physical and shit. So that's why this last game, you seen the score, it was 106 to 80. You know what I mean? Only held Denver to 80 points and shit. And Jamal Murray only had like 8 points the whole game and shit. So you only gave him a slap on the wrist, $100,000 fine for fucking potentially injuring a player, throwing the fucking heating pack where a player could possibly land on, and roll an ankle, get injured, boom, and then what happens? Oh, how did that ice pack get there? Oh, Jamal Murray threw it. Oh, yeah, 100,000. Fuck that shit. Suspend that motherfucker for 1 game. Fuck that shit. 2 if you want, but 1 game minimum. 1 game minimum, exact. Like, literally, fuck that shit. Especially like it's just gonna. I'm just gonna be repeating myself, man. Like I said, they were just frustrated because the refs are letting them play. Denver is not really used to playing physical like that. Now that they're playing a fucking better defensive team rather than the fucking Lakers, who has a fucking shitty ass defensive background. Me as a Laker fan, I'll admit it personally. Lakers fucking suck defensively, and I think it's all. I'm not even gonna say none, because then I'm gonna get fucking sidetracked, detour onto another topic and shit. But Denver has never played a better defense like this in Minnesota. You know what I mean? So, boom, clear as day example. They're down 2-0 after the two home games to start off. Now they're going back to Minnesota. Who knows? Maybe they're going to get swept. Maybe they're going to get steal 1 at Minnesota. But as far as it looks right now, it looks like they're going to get swept because they're getting frustrated. Like, you could see, like, obviously, like, going back to back is not hard. I mean, it is hard. It's fucking very difficult. I was going to say, like, not easy, but it's fucking very hard going back to back, let alone like just winning 1. Like, come on, man. But at the same time, man, everything is just amplified. Everything is just fucking um emphasized. There you go, emphasized in the playoffs and shit. The defense is emphasized. The offense is emphasized. Everyone's constantly moving around. It's no, oh, okay, pass it over here. Okay, woo, take it little by little. Screen over here, screen over there. Backdoor cut, shit like that. You know what I mean? But as far as that, man, I feel like Jamal Murray could have been suspended for 1 game at least. Like, you know, what's that gonna do? But breaking news here on the No Signal podcast. Breaking news. Jokic has won his 3rd MVP in the last 4 years. Right now, Jokic has won the most valuable player. I mean, most valuable player being down 0-2 right now. You know, he's on the fence with it. He's on the fence right now. But at the same time, like I feel like the NBA could have gave that shit to fucking Shy. I feel like they should have just gave it to Shy. Boom. Swept the Pelicans first round. They're up 1 game right now. I think 1 game. They're up 1 game right now on Dallas. They got a bunch of momentum. You know, they're fucking finding the rhythm, finding their own groove. I mean, come on. The youngest fucking number 1 seed of all time. The youngest number 1 seed of all time. This never happens. And it all comes back to Shy. However you want to pronounce it, say it. But I feel like Shay should have got that shit, honestly. That's real disappointing. But there you go. For no Signal podcast exclusive. Jokic just won his 3rd MVP in the last 4 years. Y'all heard it here first. And also, Wemby got fucking robbed. Motherfucker, dude. Wemby got robbed of the Defensive Player of the Year by Rudy Gobert, the other Frenchman. Motherfucker, dude. That shit's funny as fuck. I love saying that shit. That shit's hilarious. Motherfucker, dude. This guy's a motherfucker, dude. But anyways, Wemby won Rookie of the Year unanimously. Fucking clear as day. Cleared out everyone. Cleared out the whole rookies. Fucking washed them up and shit. Wemby won Rookie of the Year unanimously. Last person to ever do that, I believe, was Cats for 2017, 2018. No, 2016, I believe. 2016, 2015 to 16 season. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken. Because he came in the same time as D-Lo. D-Lo came in as Kobe was leaving and shit. You know what I mean? But was that the first year or second year? Damn, this is when I started fucking getting sidetracked and I started fucking fact checking in my head. But I'm going to just say that was D-Lo's rookie year. But anyways, man, Rudy Gobert, this is in total, the whole season right here, 162 blocks. Wemby, 254 blocks. Mind you, we're talking about the Defensive Player of the Year right here. The Defensive Player of the Year award right here. Rudy, he won it. 52 steals. Wemby, he lost Defensive Player of the Year. 88 steals. How the fuck are these numbers so fucking clear as day? Clear as day. Wemby has more numbers, more steals, more blocks than fucking Gobert. And he still lost. How the fuck does that even happen? That shit's so fucking... But then you got to think, like, people are like, Gobert, he's helping his team out more because he's on the winning team. Blah, blah, blah. Wemby, they were last in the West and blah, blah, blah. They're going to start making up all this extra shit. Like, bruh, if it's... You're not going, like, the fucking Defensive Player of the Year is not going to the team. It's going to the fucking player. It's going to the individual. You know what I mean? So, like, okay, Gobert has fucking less than Wemby in blocks and steals, but, Minnesota is number 1, number 2, whatever the fuck. And Wemby has more blocks and steals, so single-handedly, personally, you know? But his team is bottom of the barrel. It's like, I don't, how do you compare it to? There's like no real way you could compare it. Cause it's like, dude, Like, who played most games? Let me check that. Let me check that right now. I'm gonna go silent real quick. I'm gonna go silent. Hold on. Games played. All right. Wemby played 71 games. 71 games this season. And Gobert, this season, he played. Oh, no, it's not going to show right there. Games played this season. 76. Okay, so see, there's another factor in the fucking defensive player of the year. Rudy Gobert played 5 more games than Wemby. But at the same time, Wemby has more fucking blocks, steals, and like it's just it doesn't seem right to me. But at the same time, like you got to give credit where credit is due, and you know Rudy Gobert, he's well deserved of that trophy. His team was, you know, at its best with him on the court. Obviously, 76 games played this season compared to Wemby's 71 games. I mean, what can you do? They already gave Gobert the award, but I feel like they gave Gobert the award because they know that Wemby is gonna win like fucking defensive player of the year for like the next whatever. I'm gonna just say it like this: out of 7 years in the future, Wemby's gonna have at least 4. I'm not even bullshitting you. Wemby's gonna have at least 4 of those defensive player of the years within those 7 seasons. So not fact check that, mark that down, put it on a post-it, mark my words, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Take a picture right now, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. All right, hold on. Let me go on another topic right here real quick. Austin Rivers went on a podcast recently and he said, I can take 30 players right now in the NBA and throw them in the NFL. Let me get a sip of my water before I talk about that. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. Austin Rivers said that he could throw 30 NBA players in the NFL. Let me just put it this way. They're all athletes. You know, they're all athletes. They're all like their precision is on point, hand-eye coordination on point. I feel like I'm pretty sure y'all heard this before. Basketball players could do stuff basketball players could do stuff football players can't. And football players could do stuff NBA players can't. You know what I mean? So with that being said, I'm pretty sure you guys heard a bunch of players. I don't know if you guys listen to podcasts the way I do, but I listen to podcasts like fucking basketball podcasts like sporadically. Like, Mind the Game with JJ Redick, The Old Man and the Three Things, Gil's Arena, Knuckleheads, All the Smoke podcasts. Like, that's my top 5 right there, honestly. I just go in rotation off that. But to continue on what I was saying, there's been whenever they talk about NBA players and stuff, they're like, oh, what was your upbringing like? And they're like, oh, honestly, like my love was baseball. I love baseball and all this shit. Oh, I just got into basketball because my dad, you know, he wanted me to get into basketball, or one of my coaches, he said I'll be better for basketball, best for basketball and shit like that. But you hear like the same stories like, oh, I played football once, man, I got hit. Hell no, I didn't go back to that shit. They're like, they say they get hit once and they're like, you know what? Fuck that shit. I'm gonna stick to basketball and shit where they can't fucking tackle me, where they can't fucking, you know, like fucking head to head collisions and shit. You know what I mean? Like that shit will fuck someone up. That shit is meant for like certain type of players and shit, certain type of people. That's why I said NBA players could do stuff. Football players can't. Football can do stuff basketball players can't. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna just leave it at that. But obviously we see all these videos of like OBJ dunking. Obviously they fucking they need to do leg day. They got to get their legs right and shit to fucking jump, catch, or fucking use their legs to fucking block and shit, you know, like try and get to the quarterback and shit, you know what I mean? But like obviously you see in like the celebrity games when they have football players in there and shit, you know what I mean? You see the football players dunking and shit. You see fucking basketball players like pretty much whenever they're on the football field, like they just like, oh, I'll throw it, like, oh, like on like whatever, they just playing catch and shit. But you don't see them motherfuckers like running routes and shit, you know, like you don't see motherfuckers doing that shit. But yeah, you see like OBJ fucking, what's his name, Myles Garrett. That motherfucker's a beat. Like, yo, if you put that motherfucker in the NBA, yo, Lakers need a motherfucker like that. Lakers need a motherfucker like Myles Garrett to go against Jokic for real. Like, big body, fucking post up, boom, like put that fucking shoulder into you. Just, and he could dunk off vert. Like, I seen videos of him just like standing, just straight off vert. You know what I mean? So that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna say like, oh, you could put NBA players in the NFL. Oh, you could put NFL players in the NBA, because it's just like they could do certain things. Like, okay, imagine a football player, or pick one football player that would be equal or would stand a chance guarding Kyrie, or putting themselves in Kyrie's position with the handles and dribble moves and all that shit. Or not even that. Put a motherfucking football player in LeBron's shoes. Just straight run down the court. Just fucking put a shoulder in a motherfucker. Just straight rim attack. Rim running and shit. Just straight dunking on everybody and shit. You know what I mean? But like, it's all like how do you say, coordination? Coordination, I guess, you know? Like, football players, they can't really do like a fucking step back 3-point, fucking post up, fucking right foot pivot, you know, over the fucking shoulder, over the right shoulder, fucking fade and shit. Right foot pivot over the right shoulder. Oh yeah, I knew. Yeah. I'm like talking to myself and shit, bro. This shit's funny. Low key, I think there's a game on right now, if I'm not mistaken. Let me fact check that real quick. It just started, literally. Indiana Pacers playing New York Knicks right now. Speaking of the New York Knicks, Jalen Brunson. Yo, that shit's so funny when Kevin Garnett says Jalen Brunson's name. He's like, Jalen Brunson. Bone your ass, nigga. Jalen Brunson tied for Jordan with 4 straight 40-point playoff games. I've been on the podcast. You could see my episode from 2 episodes ago. I believe 2 or 3 episodes ago. I gave high praise to Jalen Brunson on turning the Knicks around. And as you can see here, they're already up 1-0 on the series against Indiana. It's tied right now with the first quarter, 9 even. It's already 7 minutes, not 7 minutes in, but 7 minutes to go. So, yeah, I've been on here giving Jalen Brunson praise, Anthony Edwards praise. Just giving credit where credit is due, man. Because all these young players, I read and see all these like quotes or whatever, like not stories, but they're just like, oh, like little paragraphs and shit about how Steve Kerr didn't want to take a chance on drafting Anthony Edwards or some shit like that. Or what's his name? Jalen Brunson. Like they didn't Rick Carlisle didn't play Jalen Brunson at all in the game 7 versus the Clippers last season. Not even last season, 2 seasons ago, before he went to New York. That he didn't give him he gave him little to no playing time. So it's like Jalen Brunson got that chip on his shoulder, especially if Rick Carlisle is coaching coaching the Pacers now. Oh, he's going to want to shit on Rick Carlisle for real. But at the same time, man, like, just stay the course, just stay level-headed and shit. You know what I mean? That's all I could say to, like, if I was like a player like Brunson or Anthony Edwards and shit, just stay focused, man. Like, I need this words of affirmation and shit, because low-key, I'm about to start school and shit. Mondo in school? What? That's what I'm saying, bro. But low-key, I'm about to get in school right now. So, yeah, low-key, there's going to be a change in in episodes. Not change in episodes, but just a change in the release date of the episode and shit, you know. So I wouldn't really do it in the middle of the week how I do these, you know, episodes and stuff. My schedule, how it is right now, I wouldn't really do it in the middle of the week on a Wednesday. I'm gonna have to do it at the end of the week, like a Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Just give me one of those 3 days and I'm good, and I'll give you all the episode, man. But for right now, man, I feel like we can end it off here. Cause low key, I gotta go take a short. They not like us. What? V12, that's a fast one. Bow, last one. Oh man, I like that shit. I like that song, bro. He said, stomach that, then tell your fans where you get your abs from, or something like that. He said, stomach that, then tell your fans where you get your abs from. V12, that's a fast one. Bow, last one. Oh man, I'm losing it right now. Yo, man, all right. I'm out this shit. I'm out this bitch. Peace. One love, man. Be sure you love yourself before you love anyone else. Straight up, man. Peace. Thanks for watching. Also, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Also, follow me on my socials. Instagram, Twitter, No Signal Mondo. Podcast IG, No Signal Pod. Spotify, No Signal Podcast. And my stream, kick.com/BeanMondo.